Anytime you have a bill that Chuck the Buck Schumer approves of, I would say that just leaves huge red flags. If you haven't heard, this huge omnibus bill, continuing resolution, more aptly put, is over 1,500 pages long. To be specific, it's 1,547 pages long. And I have broken it down very succinctly so you can identify and understand everything that's going on. I even have something for you to do at the end of this that's going to save our country and actually let these people know who won the election. I'm also going to share with you reactions across the board from senators, congressmen who've posted on X. You've got people like Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Senator Josh Hawley, Massey, the whole 9 yards. Speaker Mike Johnson is getting a lot of heat, maybe deservedly so. He said that he would never do anything like this. He would never try to pass something sneakily during a recess. Any buses, he said, we don't want any buses. We're not going to have any buses. And I think he's deserved to get a lot of backlash. But here, I'm going to break this down for you. Look at this. Look how chunky chicken. That is a huge bill right there. There's a picture of it right there, but I'm going to break it down right here. I've got it very succinctly, very quickly. The key highlights: keeping the government open, but at what cost? Here are the grave concerns for this bill that I think every American should know about. And quite frankly, everybody around the world should know this. Number one, the funding. So this is what the bill consists of. It was really meant as a disaster relief package for hurricane victims in the southeast United States. But look at this. This is what they're trying to get through. Funding for alleged censorship operations. The bill supports government agencies involved in what they consider to be illegal censorship. This 1,547-page funding bill includes an extension for, I don't even know how this can even be a thing. Maybe you've never heard of this before. The Global Engagement Center, a massive contributor within the censorship industrial complex who pressured social media companies to censor Americans. This bill would extend their existence for another 9 years. Remember how many times I've said this? The good guys are never the ones on the side of censorship. The bill is just insane as far as spending goes. The bill supports many unnecessary expenditures to gain political support. There's a lack of transparency. The bill's complexity and length are seen as mechanisms to hide details from the public and legislative review. Why such a lack of transparency? The policy bills includes policy changes within the funding bill, making it a way to pass controversial policies, hiding it under the radar. Why are they doing that? Redundant government programs. This bill supports funding for many programs that are redundant and overlap, something DOGE is trying to get rid of. And this bill, again, it's 1,547 pages long, and it has to be passed by this Friday to prevent a government shutdown. They only care about themselves. They forgot that we actually won on November 5th. So a big, huge say no to this bill. It is bad boogie. Here's what Vivek Ramaswamy had to say. He called it pork barrel politics. And so Vivek Ramaswamy says that it's excessive spending, pork barrel politics, citing a cost of $380 billion just to keep the government open, with additional spending like renewing the farm bill, disaster relief, and bridge replacement. He argues this adds significant debt and unnecessary expenditure. It's rushed, obviously. The bill, which could have been under 20 pages, he says, which I think is really interesting, is unnecessarily complex and lengthy. Over 1,500 pages, includes various unrelated policies, and was rushed without proper debate or proper public scrutiny. You think they actually had it in their mind for anybody to read this? I think that's a resounding no. Potential impacts. Ramaswamy warns that such spending bill will not only burden future generations with debt, but also potentially harm those it aims to help, like farmers, through increased taxes and foreign land sales. He also mentions various controversial inclusions like pay raise for Congress, like they deserve it. and renewal of the Global Engagement Center, which I mentioned earlier. Here's what Rand Paul, probably my favorite response. Rand Paul posted this on X. By the way, you know you need to follow me on X at Professor Nez. Link in the description show notes. Just go to open your X, formerly known as Twitter, and follow me on X because I post a lot of stuff there I cannot post anywhere else. Rand Paul says, I'd hoped to see Speaker Johnson grow a spine, but this bill full of pork shows he is a weak man. The debt will continue to grow. Ultimately, the dollar will fail. Democrats are clueless and big government Republicans are complicit. A sad day for America. Representative Keith Self says, I have yet to speak with a single, this is insane, Republican member of Congress who provided input on this bill. They don't care for our input. One of my Republican colleagues today even said, quote, we're all just furniture, end quote. It's true. Can you imagine? Chuck the Buck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and all these guys trying to get this through without a single input from the winning administration, the winning side that's coming in on January 20th. That's absolutely insane. That's nuts. John Rich, who I have a lot of respect for, actually very intelligent. He's a musician, but he's very talented and savvy in business and politics. We've lasted 4 years with a radical government. I think we can last 32 days with a government shutdown. He at Speaker Johnson, do the will of the people. Elon Musk says this bill should not pass. Representative Anna Paulina Luna says voting no. Continued resolution is a terrible sandwich. Lots of my people back home impacted by hurricane are calling my office, said they don't want everything attached to this bill. Representative Corey Mills says, I have never supported or voted for a single CR since entering Congress. God bless you, sir. After reviewing the proposed CR, I cannot support the continued fiscally irresponsible spending bill. We must get fiscal sanity, and that starts with going back to pre-COVID spending levels, adding adjusted rates, and realizing we cannot just cut our way to prosperity, but must support our private sector, who are the job creators. Stop over-regulation that stifles and prevents growth. Get control over our supply chain and raw materials. Invest in industrial base and block the sale of U.S. steel using CFIUS as executive order. I will vote no on the D.C. status quo that's driven us to, can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen, $36 trillion in debt, and push to empowering the American people. I love Corey Mills. Let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. Senator Josh Hawley, who you know how much I love, says this song and dance has really gotten old. Johnson wrote this bill. It is 100% his. The secret pay raises, the Obamacare carve-outs, by the way, it allows certain members of Congress, actually all members of Congress, to basically exchange their Obamacare. The pharma giveaways, the censorship funding, all of it. He's reposting a post by Kayla Garner who says, Mike Johnson told Fox News he talked to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy about the stopgap bill last night in a group chat. Quote, they say this is not directed at you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending, end quote. And then he said, I said, guess what, fellas? I don't either, but it has to get done. So in summation, this is what they get. They get $60 billion to Ukraine, unconstitutional force of courts to protect Congress, past and future blanket immunity for the deep state, unconstitutional emergency powers, which also includes mask vaccine mandates, biolab, funding of 12 biolabs, which allows for gain-of-function research, vaccine passports. What do the American people get? Hurricane aid. So it always has to come with a contingency. It always has to come. It can't just be a single direct avenue and navigation of help for the American people. They have to add a bunch of garbage. My fellow Americans, this is what you need to do. You need to call Mike Johnson's office in Washington, D.C. It's 202 area code 225-2777. Screenshot this. Send it to everybody you know. Share this video. Tap the thumbs up. We cannot allow them to get away with this. This is going to add such an insane amount of government regulation and government overspending, and it's going to hurt us, the taxpayer, through and through, the blue-collar hard workers, the salt of the earth, the backbone and lifeblood of this country. We cannot let them get away with this. Call Speaker Mike Johnson's office in D.C. right now. As always, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter. It's absolutely free in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, especially this one if you haven't seen it. We just posted it. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA. I'll see you soon.